Okay. That should be it. Ready?
Ready.
Let's do it. Cool. Welcome to Books We Never Read.
Except for those we have.
I'm Jason.
I'm Nicole.
And today is our last reading of...
Discussion, yeah.
I won the thing. I get to say it my way.
Well, because we don't read on the show.
Today is our last show.
No, it's not.
Today is our last talking about Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros.
Sorry. Anyways, so if you have not read all of Onyx Storm, you should leave and just come back later. Because we're about to talk about everything. We'll ruin it all.
You should just stay. We'll talk about it.
If you have not read First Wing or Iron Flame,
you should leave.
You should leave and go back and read. We have those episodes playlisted for you. Not where we read them, but where we discuss them. On our YouTube playlist section of YouTube playlist section. We are also available as, I don't know, I just like popped my thumb weird. Oh my God. We're available as a podcast instead of a video if you're interested on YouTube Music. We're on Instagram for the memes. And we're really excited that you're here. So if you're joining us live, feel free to participate in the chat. We really want to hear all your thoughts about it. And if you're catching us on a replay, participate in the comment section because, again, we really want to know what you thought about it. And again, this is all of Onyx Storm, so now you are free.
Spoilers will abound.
Yeah. So if you have not read it, you need to get out of here because we're spoiling. Everyone's spoiling. It's on the table. All right. So Shelby's saying there was a spicy opening to this section of the reading. Spice indeed. I'm trying to remember.
I skipped all the spice chapters.
There was a spice chapter that went on for like multiple chapters.
there was one that started in one chapter and was a whole chapter. And like, I just didn't care. I didn't care anymore. It's the same thing every time. Like, I get it. You know what's funny about the spice chapter? I'm a little salty about this book, guys. Heads up. By the way, here we go. What's frustrating about the salt chapters? What's frustrating about the spice chapters is she's like, I have never felt like this. Really? Except for the last time we had this chapter, and the time before that, and the time before that. She's always like, it's amazing, and I've never felt this way. You've said that 7 times now. 7 times. Be honest with yourself. It's okay.
Well, I feel like she's just always surprised that it never fades in intensity, just between the emotional connection that they have and the physical connection that they have, that it's that powerful every time.
Yeah, but they have like dragon bonds and stuff. Nobody like
right.
It's like doing coke, right?
Yeah,
like,
it really is, and I think that's kind of the point is that it's intensified, because of all these other issues. Like, I don't think that we should see it as a normal relationship. It's definitely like a dragon human situation. Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. But yeah, spicy opening. And if you like spice, it's there. And there's a lot of it.
I feel like this one wasn't, super spicy.
Yeah.
I mean, there were spicy words, but it was
whatever.
I cared more about progressing the storyline, at this point than the spice.
In my car, I can't skip on Audible easily to the next chapter.
So you're just stuck in the spice.
Well, no, so you have to skip by, I think it's like 10 seconds at a time or something. So I had to hit the button like 57 times to get through. And like, I was like checking, I'm like, okay, cool. It's still spice, whatever. Because that doesn't progress the story. I don't care.
Yeah, nothing else is happening except the spice.
Yeah.
So.
And like, if you're here for that, cool. But like, I've done it like 3 or 4 times now. Yeah. Between the books. I get it. So this was the weakest.
Yeah, of the ones that we've read so far, I do believe that it was the weakest.
It has the lowest score on Goodreads, which is still not low.
Yeah.
It's like a 4.5 or a 4.6. It's rated higher than All the Light We Cannot See, which is a crime. Because
it's just more people are reading this.
They have similar review numbers. And this is objectively worse because of All the Light We Cannot See was fire.
I mean, but like, how do you even compare the two?
I just did. I don't know. I get to.
Okay.
I get to. And All the Light We Cannot See was poetic, and the story progressed, and like things happened. And this book was. I had fun like the first week because I was excited, and I had fun the second week because I was like, okay, we're solving a mystery, and then this week it's a weak ending, and it kind of ruined the book for me.
Yeah. So I enjoyed week 1. I enjoyed week 2. I was disappointed in week 3 because I thought that there would be more resolution, and there wasn't. So this really felt like this book was kind of my issues with the Hunger Games, is that those shouldn't have been 3 separate books. It was one book. I feel like this shouldn't have been a book on its own because we didn't really like make it anywhere.
No, yeah, nothing happens.
Yeah.
Which is kind of wild,
And so this could have been merged in with book 4, I think.
Yeah.
However, I don't want to like completely erase how much I did like weeks 1 and weeks 2. I liked exploring these other islands, and I liked kind of learning about other parts of the world that weren't on the continent.
Yeah.
And but I felt like even some of those like island descriptions could have been more detailed and like let us really get immersed in and enjoy these different locations where we are. So, and yes, in a 5-book series, you've got to have a book that's just kind of maybe building up other elements.
I guess.
I get it.
I mean,
it's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
But I was telling Jason earlier, it felt too rushed and too drawn out at the same time.
Yeah.
There were so many things that got like skipped over, and then we just saw like after it had happened. But then it also kept going and going.
Yeah. I had no trouble finishing the first reading or the second reading, and I didn't want to finish this one. I was just like, I don't care. I don't care anymore.
I was engaged throughout all of it. But then when I realized like nothing was getting wrapped up, I was kind of frustrated at the end.
Yeah. Well, like, okay, fine. So, like, you're right. What was cool about the first and second readings was sort of, I mean, like, really, it was only about exploring other cultures and other islands, because that's about all that actually happens besides, like, the regular nyan back at, like, home base or whatever, you know? And there's so much of that in this book. Like, okay, cool. But, like, they literally had Violet tell us the history of the world when she was crossing a dangerous bridge. And then so you're going to tell me that I need a whole book to go see these islands?
Yeah.
Why couldn't Violet have just been, like, stressed out and been like, I don't know, Umbriel is an island. Like, we could have done it that way. And I complained about it in the first book, and I'm going to, like, reverse complain about it now, right? Like, the option is there. And instead, we took a whole... Anyway, but so, like, you know, I say nothing happened, and that's not true. Spoilers, guys. We told you already.
Yeah, get out while you can.
Xaden turns by the end of this book, which is not news.
Yeah.
He was turned at the end of the last book.
But it's official now.
Well, it's just... We took... So there's this girl, right, in the sparring pit or whatever, who turns venom, and they just, like, shoot her immediately, and she dies. Like, she wasn't, like, kind of venom or whatever. She was just, like, venom now, right?
Well,
so,
she
like,
accessed the power.
yes,
Yeah.
but so, like, if we're going to use that as, like, our metric, and, like, that's how we have historically, then nothing happened to Xaden. He was venom last book. And, like, he's just like, okay, now we're just going to, like, commit to it because, like, we can't keep using him as a character forever or whatever. It's just ridiculous. Like, he's been a venom this whole time.
Right, but there was supposed to be that hope that we could get it out of him.
Yeah.
That we could fix it. That we could mend it.
There was this hope. And, like, there was no evidence for this hope.
No, but now, by the end of it, it is 100%.
Nah, they're gonna cure him.
No, he's full venom.
No, they're going to
Not
cure
coming
him.
back.
They're going to cure him. And here's why. The other thing that really frustrates me about this is we spend this whole book looking for these dumb dragons to find a cure. This quest fails. We find the dragons. That part's cool. Meeting her little family and them, like, being like, no, you're not a peace dragon. And, like, the things we learn about them, like, that's cool. But they're like, we're not coming with you. So their quest fails. Except their quest doesn't fail. Because Lothlorien, or whatever his name is, shows up invisibly and fires the wardstone on his own. So, like, the quest succeeds. Congratulations. That's very cool. Except he takes Andarna with him. Okay, well, now she's gone. Except she's not. She just invisibly shows back up again, too. Nothing matters. Just like the whole quest that failed didn't fail. It succeeded. Andarna leaving. She didn't leave. She's really here. Xaden turns Venin. Just kidding. We're going to cure him, too. That's what's going to happen. Because, like, there was just no...
Nothing stuck.
There was no value to anything that happened because it all just got, like, rewritten or whatever, you know?
Yeah. So I was crushed when Andarna left. I mean, I was like, I wanted Andarna to go. She needs to go and, like, learn and do, but I was fully expecting her to be gone for years.
Mm-hmm.
And so why is she back? And so, like, that's something I'm looking forward to in the next book.
Mm-hmm.
Why is she already back? What happened? What did she learn? What was wrong? So at first, something was said. Oh, when Tiny was held captive, I thought for a moment when we saw the scale that Andarna that it was a trap for her to leave and that she was held captive. So, like, I super was confused for that part. But no, I mean, that was weird. Like, why is she already back? Why did Violet have to go through all that pain, like nearly dying to separate from Andarna for her to come right back? So I want to learn about that.
Yeah. I think the coolest reveal, like the only reveal that maybe matters is turning out that Auric is a precog or whatever. Like, that's super cool. But, like, all right, so he knows that all this is going down. He gives Violet the rock weapon or whatever to stab the girl with. Why didn't he just tell Violet, like, by the way, when you come into this situation, just, like, stab her with this and it's going to be cool. Don't ask how I know. Like, why not? Why not? Why does he have to keep it all a secret?
Well, he does tell her.
No, he doesn't.
I mean,
he
in
gives
the
her
little
hints.
note, he's like, well, because he'll be killed for that.
She clearly won't. She don't kill anybody for any reason.
Well, she won't.
Even if she... Well, so tell her. Just be like, by the way, whenever you see Theophany, I've kind of know the future.
Maybe he was, like, figuring it out. We'll find out in the next book. So that's another kind of issue for us to learn about, is what's up with that.
Yeah. Future knowings get complicated. And...
Yes.
I mean, I kind of wish they had not brought that... Like, if it's, like, outcome of a battle, like, oh, man, whatever.
Right, like, what's his head's?
Melgren. But, like...
Yeah, I mean, because if you've already seen how it goes down, how can you change it? It has already gone down. It is already done.
So the weird, but no. So here he is. He's a precog. He sees the future, or whatever. Except that there's this whole deal throughout this book about Violet's paths and how she has these different paths she can choose, and like, oh, maybe it's not really her paths, maybe it's Xaden's paths, and all, and like there are clearly multiple futures, and I guess he can just see like some of them. But if you can only see, and like, so Melgren's ability isn't that he can't see all the he sees the true future. He just can't see it if there's 3 or more rebellion relics around, right? Like, it's not like he sees one option. He sees the option. Or he can't see it if they're all present. If you're going to tell me that Auric can only see one of the options, what use is that? I can guess some options, dude. I mean, that's not an ability. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't. These two concepts clash against each other, I feel like. So.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Dreamwalking doesn't explain her thought pushing thing and the dizziness. Yeah. I am interested in learning more about her second signet. And like, we kind of knew Andarna was back because she was in Xaden's dream.
Yeah.
And she shouldn't have been able to do that with Andarna not there. So there was like a little hint. I feel like there were lots of little hints that might not make sense until the next book.
Yeah.
Or I'm at least hoping that we're going to read the next book and be like, it was right in front of us and we didn't even see it. You know, so I am looking forward to that. Also, the big thing that we do need to talk about, who turned at the end of the book.
Yeah. So y'all give us your theories there, but I think it's fairly obvious. I had to go back and
there's 2 that I'm torn between.
Okay, gotcha. So at the end of the book, I feel like too much small things happened. Like nothing happened, too much happened. And throughout this book, we keep being given characters that like I don't know who they are and I don't care. And like I'm glad Kat found love, but then that guy got like diced by an arrow 7 pages later. So like why did we do that? And whenever we get the chapter with saving Quinn, whose chapter is that? Imogen's chapter saving Quinn. I didn't remember who Quinn was. I didn't remember her girlfriend, and I didn't care. And I just wanted the book to end. And we were still there.
Yeah.
Oh, Garrick. Oh.
Eric keeping the secret of his linguistic skills and Dane getting more and more mad. That was really
that
funny.
part was fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so Peggy's saying that she thinks it's Garrick. Why
do you think it's Garrick?
I guess I do have 2 guesses, and they're both related to the same situation. We'll just go ahead and say it, right?
Okay, so what's yours?
Top pick is Dane.
Why?
Because of the thing about the pulling too much power whenever they were healing Mira.
So Sloane noticed that Dane had too much power when she did her magic transfer from Dane to Brennan to heal Mira.
Yeah.
And Brennan didn't have like a burn on the back of his neck where Dane was wielding that power into. Or maybe it was Dane or maybe it was Sloane. But either way, like there should have been some kind of burn mark there.
Yeah. Which has never been explained before. They just like threw it in there.
Right, so it was just this random comment.
Yeah, like okay. But so okay, so I also think that Dane is, he comments like it's the last person he would have thought would turn, and I feel like Dane is the last person I would expect. He was the last person I guessed after I kept guessing people, and then I realized that there is a last person. So who's your guess?
I'm worried that it might be Bodhi.
Oh, that's not my guess.
In one of the other perspectives, I think maybe it was Imogen who turned and saw Bodhi throwing up during the middle of the last battle.
Yeah.
And his dragon had been slashed. And so I'm worried that he might have pulled that power to survive his dragon dying. And that would also explain, I think, why Violet ended up married at the end of the book. Because Bodhi nor Xaden can now be dukes.
Yeah.
They're both going to be out because they're venom.
Okay. My second guess is Brennan. Because I think he's the last person I would guess. Like he brought Mira back from basically the dead, or like was fighting death every step of the way. It's like, why not him? He is probably the last person we would expect. And we still don't know what happened to Nowlin. We don't know that he died, but what if in doing this sort of procedure, you go full venom? Maybe, what if we find out that the reason we feel like Dane had too much power is because like we're feeling it from Brennan through Dane.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But and so yes, Xaden does have 2 brothers, and one is like the little half brother on the island or whatever, and the other one is like, we think, a dead person. Like we think he died.
I don't remember that.
I feel like we've been told that he had an older brother that died in the rebellion, and that he might have been a dragon rider. Anyway, if that's the case, maybe he's not dead. And whenever I was first listening to it, number one, I wasn't paying all that much attention anymore. I thought that it was a real brother. But who knows?
Dane didn't know about... I thought Dane did find out about Xaden being a venom.
I don't think he does.
Then it's not Dane, because Xaden said, "I can't believe this person turned after watching me suffer through this for the past 5 months." Riddick only knew,
but Brennan knew
for a couple of weeks. Brennan knew and was trying to heal him.
Yeah. If anything, Brennan saw him the entire time because he was over there in Erasia, and they were trying all the like meditating in the egg hatcheries and all that
and then trying to put it back into the earth where he first pulled it. That was a good idea.
Also, just like a lot of people all of a sudden are pulling from the earth. Like,
it seems to be like
all of a sudden people are doing this all the time.
Well, and maybe they had been doing it.
Yeah, maybe.
And just getting killed off. Yeah.
So let's talk about this reveal that the spy in their midst was Panchek the whole time. Except, like, we don't play... I don't know, like... I feel like this had like Harry Potter potential, where like you're at school and you're trying to like figure out who the Rat Man is or whatever that deal is, right? But instead, just like the big bad guy just like tells you, and you're like, okay, okay. So like I felt like that payoff wasn't like, we knew there was a spy. If you're just gonna tell us who it was for it to not matter, then just like don't tell me.
Yeah, there was no reveal. It was just like, oh, it was Panchek.
Cool, okay,
Yeah, I don't know. That was weird. But I'm glad we know, because I was wondering who it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Peggy's theory.
Yeah.
That the aisles are dull because they've already been drained, and that's how Violet ended up defeating what Theophanes was, shielding herself behind something that had been like
She jumped on top
drained
of...
and re-enriched by
Yeah.
venom magic.
Yeah. She jumped on top of a wyvern.
Yeah.
And like it couldn't touch her. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That was interesting. Peter Pettigrew. Yeah, that's who he's talking about, Shelby.
Sorry, I've never actually read Harry Potter. I just like generally know the idea. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much comment about how pale everything is there, and so like maybe I think it seems that like things die, and so like if everything's dead, why would it come back pale? Like I don't know.
I mean, because maybe like over time, magic is slowly restored, which means that like the ground becomes fertile again over time, kind of like after a radiation event,
Yeah, but radiation events. I mean, like they do radiation may not be the best example, because like it does make things grow back funny,
It does.
But like, if you can burn out soil other ways, and then whenever you like re-enrich it, like the plants come back green, not like beige or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I do think that is what's going on. I think we're gonna find out that they did it all, and like we don't know how old Theophany is.
Right.
She could have been because like how long does it take for magic to come back? Everybody seems to think the islands have no magic, and it's not like for the last 50 years. It's like forever.
Hundreds, yeah. Yep. Yeah, are they making a new hatching ground? And like, was this done with the dragon's permission? Like, are my biggest concern in these books is the dragons. The humans are interesting. The dragons are all I care about, really. Like, they're the real leaders here and the real rulers, and this is their world. And so, okay, what does that? Xaden has disappeared now. Some dragon eggs are missing, and there's like 4 other dragons and riders missing. So are the dragons on board with this? They must be.
Yeah. If
it's happened. Because those dragons would fire breath the crap out of them and just be done with it.
Yeah. I did think it was a good scene whenever he's like, do you want to forsake me now, Sigale? Or whatever. She's like, there's nothing to forsake. You're not you anymore. Right? Like,
I feel bad for Sigale.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I mean, it's not her fault.
But if she has the ability to kill him.
Yeah.
And
she probably should have.
She probably should have, but she sees something in there.
Yeah.
That is keepable.
Number one, if we heal Xaden, I'm going to be pissed off. I think we're healing him. I'm going to be upset about it. Number two, if we just kill him later, I'm going to be mad at Sigale. Like what if Xaden like shadow magics everybody to death for like 2 more books? I mean, like, you could have solved this. Like, this is your fault.
I don't think that he'll become the next enemy. There's something in him that keeps like hanging on to using his power very specifically. He is not using that power to get a fix. He's using it to further their mission. And that's interesting. We see that he is tempted by it, but he only really goes full venom to solve a problem.
Yeah. But like, then we still have this nonsense about like your soul, and so like if every time he channels, he loses part of the soul.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what that.
Away.
Yeah. Nobody knows what that means.
Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe you can not have a soul. But
well, and we keep getting comments too that Venom don't have like emotions like people do, and so when he stops caring about Navarre or loving
Violet.
You can be like, I shouldn't hurt her, but like if there's no emotional attachment to that, like what does that even mean?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I'm going back in the chat now, and Peggy talking about how like Violet wielded, and so Umbriel has something. I do think that's probably the best evidence for this venom draining theory, is that there is weak magic there for some reason.
Yeah, we did learn that Theophany is not Violet's counter. It was her mom's counter. And that was interesting.
That's cool. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like, and so like I don't even have any like good guesses. And so part of it is like, you know, we keep saying like, well, there's so many things to be wrapped up in the next book. Like, yeah, sure, I guess, but like it doesn't. I don't know. I feel like it's a kind of a hard reset, and it's just like I feel like at the end of Iron Flame, it was like, oh, Xaden is turning venom. Like, okay, it's like we are continuing this arc, you know. But I feel like at the end of this book, we've sort of like put all the pieces back. Like I think I'm like on a chessboard, except like Xaden's pieces over there now instead of over here, and like you have to start the game over. And I don't feel like it's a real. I don't feel like there's anything to continue. It's just it's a reset, you know, basically.
I mean, well, we still have this issue with the Wyvern or the venom taking over, you know, the world.
Sure.
And we've got to end that situation.
Yeah, but we've had that problem for 3 books now. You know, like I don't feel like there's anything new.
No, but I mean, that's why this series started, right? I mean, that's why we came into it when we did, because wherever Basgiath is, Navarre, yeah. They've been lying about what, you know, the reality of the situation, and it's all coming to this crux. So part of me wondered if, like, seeing these different perspectives at the end of the book is a hint that in the future books we're not going to see everything from Violet's point of view. So I kind of wondered about that. But yeah, Shelby,
that was
I'm ready
weird.
to see a book. One of these books needs to just be from the dragons. That's what I want, because they're bad.
Yeah.
I like them.
Yeah. It was kind of jarring because I was doing the audiobook and the narrators for the other chapters were not nearly as good as the main narrator. And so it was jarring to like get there and like have that happen. And then like it's never happened before.
It did happen.
We might have had like a Xaden chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But like, okay, fine. He's the other main character. I'm cool with that. But like an Imogen chapter, like, or a Mira chapter, like, okay. But like it's going down right now. And like now I have to like be in somebody else's brain for a second. And I thought that was kind of jarring.
I kind of want to reread that section.
Yeah.
You know, like what did I miss because I was so like, wait, I'm reliving this one part again, but like what else is happening? You know, so I just think there was a lot of little pieces there that we could get.
Yeah.
And how long are we going to have to wait for the next book?
It took me forever to realize that we were in Mira's point of view in her chapter, because like she was talking to Tiny and like I didn't know that was Mira's dragon's name because I don't care. And like
it's Tiny.
I didn't know. The dragons were sassy, and I made a comment the other day about something, but like just the way Taryn talks is so funny. And I will say this, the one cool part about doing points of view from other people was hearing their dragons' personalities, which was like always kind of sassy, but like did have some slight differences, and I thought that was fun.
Like Riddick's dragon kind of plays pranks.
Yes, that was cool. And like Mira's dragon is very like you know, very Mira.
And it was either Mira or someone else who had like things that they would like to say to their dragon but would never dare. You know, like telling them what to do. You know, that kind of thing. So yeah, it is interesting. I am way invested in the dragons because they're so like personable, and because this is their world.
Yeah.
So they chose to bond with humans for some reason, and it's not a strength for them to bond with humans. It does weaken them.
Yeah, but I think it's the only way their magic can like be expressed. right? Like, basically. Which is kind of like an interesting concept.
So they're like the puppet leaders. They're letting the humans think that they're these
Yeah.
leaders, but the dragons are really the ones that are using humans for their will.
Yeah.
So yeah, the fourth book's not coming out till 2026 or 2027, depending on how long it takes Yarros to write it. It is not written yet. And then there will be a fifth one. And then there's also going to be a TV series. So there's that.
I'd love to watch the TV series. I'm here for that. I am legitimately on the fence right now about a fourth book. And I would, like, if you were to tell me that the fourth book is available right now, I'd tell you I was going to read the Wikipedia article. That's what I would tell you.
I'd read it.
It's too many words for, like, too little payoff, which is a shame because the first two books I thought were, like, really, really good. So.
Why did Theophany want to kill Jack?
Yeah, I don't know. There's an indication at some point. I think Xaden makes the comment like, "Oh, they're trying to kill Jack. That must mean he knows something that we don't know yet. Like they're trying to get him to shut up." Which is like fine.
Get rid of him.
Yeah.
There is nothing good that's coming from him staying alive.
Yeah, it seems...
And where is he right now? It seems like they took the little box back.
Yeah, they flew the box away, somewhere else or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had him like suspended in his little like dune cage.
All pale and creepy looking. And so we also know that there was Theophany and there was also the other one, started with a B, maybe.
Bertrand.
And they had different, like, they're kind of competing with each other to do something, different styles of venomous.
It's all very Sith feeling from Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah. So what's going on with that?
And so, like, you know, so there's this concept that, like, Xaden is tied to the sage, right? And, like, or something. In the same way that, like, if you kill the sage, the wyvern die or whatever, like, somehow Xaden can't hurt the bee guy, Berwyn. Xaden can't hurt Berwyn because that is, like, his boss, right? And like, it's just he's physically incapable of doing it. But, like, so if there's another one, right, let's say it's Brennan, just because I'm picking somebody. Brennan pulls magic from the earth to save Mira. Who's his boss? Like, how do you become somebody's sage or whatever? Like, what's the tie in there? So I don't, just asking.
Yeah. How does all that work?
Yes, very interesting. Very similar to the Night Circus.
Gold Star Peggy.
Except they're necromancers or something. Yeah. I honestly want to know more about Wyvern. Like, am I supposed to feel bad about them? Like, do they have no souls? Do I care? Like, what's a soul? I want to see one. Because in my head, they're skeletons. I know they're not, but, like, in my head, they are.
Yeah, they look just like dragons. They just have, like, extra claw thingies, right? Extra feet?
No, they have less feet.
Less feet.
Yeah. But, like, how do you make them? Like, what's the deal here? So.
Yeah.
I imagine it's kind of like Full Metal Alchemist, if anybody's ever watched that, where you do, like... Okay. It's a sad show.
I couldn't ever make it past, like, the first season because of that episode.
Anyway. Yeah, it was fine. It's not worth 4.5 stars. Maybe 3, 2.5, something like that. It's fine. I would recommend it to people only because I'm recommending the first two. I'm still going to recommend the first two. They're good. This one's fine. And if the next one is good, then you got to read this one.
Right, it gets you through. Yeah.
Maybe you read the wiki on this one.
Yeah.
I really don't see why you would have to read. Like, this book is so insubstantial that you could probably read the Wikipedia and be just fine for the next book.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. I mean, we learned about Xaden's mom.
Yeah.
You know, like, we did learn some interesting things.
Stuff happened. But, like, does it matter?
It just wasn't super, as far as we know, essential to like the way the world works
Right.
and the plot and stuff. But like I said, maybe in books 4 and 5 we'll get things that were important. Yes, the snark was good and the humor was good.
I agree with
like
that.
the characters just getting to be adults out in the world doing things was interesting.
I think too that there were too many characters though.
Golly,
It was absurd how many characters I had to learn.
I mean, I had to go back and look up who Panchik was.
Yeah.
And like we only see him twice, like at the beginning of school and at the end of school, and like why was he even there? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then I'm still trying to like learn all these Griffin Riders names just for them to like die off, and then I have to learn like 7 names at every island.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
so to pull up the bingo chart, just because we kind of been keeping up with that, so Vi was not connected to Malik, but is connected to Dune, and so that's interesting.
That is interesting.
And that's gonna be important, I think.
For some reason,
her
that's
dad
important.
did run her off to commit her to Dune.
Yeah.
But just didn't like follow through with it, and that is why the grandma isn't talking to them anymore. We're pretty sure. So that's something to find out in a future book, like what's going on with Granny,
Yeah.
and all that.
Granny's just like an atheist. Is mad about it.
There were a lot more gods and like god important things in this book,
That was
so that
interesting.
kind of opened up a whole new world that is neat.
It's also what's also interesting about the gods is that it's not clear that they're magic or that they have anything to do with magic.
Right.
And so like
So who are they?
yeah, like it's just
What
like
do they do?
it's like a bonus system.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like why does a rock from Dune's temple mad at her or something? It's not because the rock is magic. Nobody ever says that.
No, yeah, it's because she's shunned from entering Dune's temple.
Yeah.
She can't touch it.
Yeah, so
Where'd that come from?
Okay.
How did that happen?
Yeah.
So that's interesting. We're supposed to think that Mira and Drake eventually will get together, but I don't know who Drake is. He's a Griffin Rider, but I don't know who he is.
who? What about him?
Drake.
What about him?
Well,
Why are we
we're
talking about
supposed to think that Mira and Drake are going to become lovers. So, like, Drake is in there
Never
for once
heard
in a
of him.
while, and, like, she'll say something and he'll say something, and then she'll be like, shut up, idiot. And, like, that's all we ever get from it is, like, he'll say something and she just dismisses him. She really doesn't like him. But, yeah, at some point we're supposed to see that happen. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that would be interesting if... Well, never mind. We did see Sawyer get back in the saddle, but then, like, we didn't see anything epic come from him in the battle.
Yeah. I'm glad he can ride again because I like Sawyer.
Yeah, but, like, nothing happened.
Yeah, who cares? Like, we spent a lot of time.
Like, worried about him,
Yeah.
and, like, is he gonna... What's gonna happen between him and his dragon, and is he gonna be able to ride again? And then he was on the saddle, and then we didn't hear anything. Oh, he has the kitten. Okay.
I do remember Broccoli.
But
Do you-
where's Broccoli been?
Yeah.
That never came back up.
Never.
Who's taking care of the cat?
Real questions.
Okay. Book 4. We need to know more about Broccoli.
Watch in book 4. We're like walking around doing stuff, and they're just gonna like name drop Broccoli, and we're gonna be like, "Who is
Who's
that?"
Broccoli?
Just that cat that got on the island, and then they had to bring it back.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are lots of little things that have been like deposited in this book that could be important in the next books.
Yeah.
But just a whole book of deposits for future books does not make one good book.
And I'm not disagreeing that important things didn't happen, right? We found the Irids. Xaden finishes turning. I just don't think that the important things mattered.
Yeah. We don't.
And I
yeah.
think that there's an important difference to be drawn between being important and mattering.
Right.
You know?
Also, the Irids are wrong for leaving Andarna as a little, let's see how you turn out.
Yeah. Like our little human thermometer. Like, I hope you're okay with these psychos. Oh, you're not okay.
Like,
That's
well,
crazy.
You failed.
Yeah.
Well, what the heck?
Yeah.
You set her up for failure.
Yeah.
And so I did like the dragon that did come back and fire the wards. He was
Yeah.
like, he's like, I wasn't real happy with how that interaction went.
All right. So I
felt
got more
bad.
questions about that.
Yeah.
When we fire the ward at Basgiath, we have to have dragon fire from all the dragons.
Mm-hmm.
So did we just like fire it with everybody else
I don't
earlier,
know.
and then we can just like wait for the last
Yeah,
one?
just load it up and it's just waiting on the last one to be entered.
Is that what's going on?
Don't know.
Do we need somebody to die?
I don't know.
I mean, like, why do we have to have somebody die for the first one? Why not this one?
Yeah.
Who was that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like that whole thing just like set me off. Just surprise, we're gonna do it, and well, it didn't work the same way. So what's going on there?
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe book 4 is going to be all flashbacks to explain what happened in book 3.
No, thank
the
you.
stuff that we didn't see. That's what it sounds like. We're going to find out what happened with the wedding. We're going to find out what happened with the ward stones. We're going to find out what happened with this new person turning venom.
That is the only thing that like I'm interested in.
We're going to find out what happened to the dragons.
Because let me tell you how the series ends, right? Shocker. The good guys win.
Who are the good guys? The dragons.
Yeah. Dragons and people.
Not the people.
Violet wins.
The dragons are going to disconnect from all humans.
There's no world where like this series ends and like the venom run over the planet and Violet's like the last human to die or something, right? Like that doesn't happen. We know where we're going. I guess we're asking like, does Xaden get to be there? The answer is probably yes. But like, I want to know like the little mysteries on the way because like we get it, you know.
I'm hoping that there is no coming back for Xaden. He will always be a Venom.
Yeah.
He's going to be living on their side.
Yeah.
Maybe he can change the Venom world a little bit. Mm-hmm. Maybe they can all find a way to live together.
Doubtful. Because like it's like somebody says, like it's addiction, you know?
Yeah. Maybe by the end of book 5, Violet and Xaden, it's like a dream. It's so long ago.
Yeah. And so like the only Venom we've ever spent a long time talking to is Jack Barlow, unfortunately. And it's kind of hard to tell if he's a jerk because he's Venom or if he's a jerk because he's a jerk. And he was that way anyway.
He tried to kill Andarna.
Well, but like they keep feeding him. And so like could you put Xaden in like a drained magic palace, lock all the doors, and then just like feed him?
But then why keep him alive? Just kill him.
Yeah. I don't know, because you're selfish like that. It seems a very Violet move to keep Xaden alive as like a husk of himself. Seems very Violet. I don't know. I just but like I don't really care what happens to Xaden, honestly. Because either he dies or he goes back and I don't want that. But so the only thing I'm really caring about right now is who is his brother? What does this mean? Mm-hmm. That is the interesting question. After that, I don't know. You know, because if there's any reveals about like what Andarna was doing with the Irids or whatever, it's not like really. It's not a question that we are given. It's a question that is implied. But like we aren't given that question. We're like, well, what was she doing over there?
Yeah, I mean, she was only there for like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
she should have been there for years. So maybe
I'm not sure she ever left.
Yeah, I'm also not sure.
I think they just
but she broke the bond.
Yeah, but like, and then I think that dude was gonna like, we're just gonna like hang out and watch. I mean, like, what if they just like chilled the whole time and like the point was not a test of Andarna, but it was a test of Violet in some way or something.
I think Xaden and the other new Venom are gonna bring down the Venom from the inside. In book 5.
Probably.
They'll bring themselves down with it, but it'll all come down. There will be no more ability to like suck magic from the earth.
Yeah, but the problem is he can't hurt Berwyn.
Yeah, but someone else can.
Yeah.
You know, Bodhi or Dane or whoever the other.
So what if his brother? I don't know. What if two Venom get together? They agree to kill each other's like bloodlines and they kill each other.
Yeah, that's all.
Solid.
You know, if it's Brennan, it is his brother because they're married now.
That's what I think too. Yeah. It took me forever to figure out that like Imogen had like mind wiped. You had to explain that to me. Mm-hmm. I missed all that stuff. Yeah, that's cool, I guess. And is that the whole conversation that he had with Sigale, where he was like, "Well, Taryn, let me over there so I can like." Taryn should have ate him. Just ate him.
But maybe there is some very convincing plan that benefit the dragons.
Yeah.
So
well,
and
so with this mind wipe thing, I think we're supposed to believe that like there is a plan, and that her forgetting it is necessary to the plan, and it's going to be very. out of nowhere, like the dragon showing up and firing the ward
Yeah.
stone,
Well,
like
she needs
Andarna
to not
showing
know
up.
where he is, because if she knows where he is, she has an obligation to go and kill him.
But she doesn't know where he is. He walks
Right.
away. She wouldn't have known where he was anyway.
I bet she knew.
But like when I leave the house,
And like she saw it happen,
yeah. But I mean, like people move,
And she helped him like get the eggs and all that stuff. Like she helped coordinate all this thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if she knew about it, she'd have an obligation to go and kill him.
Yeah.
We'll find out in 2026 or 7. It's time for the fans to just write the next book. We're also led to believe that she broke the codex and that's why she'd burn. What? Explain. Who? Oh, Violet broke the codex. Who? What? I forgot about the codex.
There was just so many like. Here I am complaining the book was long. It probably needed another chapter. Because
yeah, like too many things were drawn out and too many things wrapped up too fast, and we have no answers.
Yeah, it's just the pacing was bizarre.
Yeah. I will read the next book because I need to know. And Darna said she wouldn't let them burn Violet. I love Andarna.
Yeah, she's
She's
cool.
a good little dragon. I never knew I cared about dragon, but the dragons are just better people than the people. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Or like one of my favorite Andarna moments is whenever Violet is saying something like, "You should talk about like your emotions." She's like, "You and Taryn down," and I'm like, "Touche." Well done.
A product of her environment.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's all I got. See, we had a lot.
Oh, I had plenty to say.
What's our next book?
The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. Very excited about that.
Big change of pace.
Maybe we'll have a pace.
All right, guys. Well, as you mull over what all happened in this book, continue to pop your ideas and theories in the comments. Let's keep it alive so that we don't have to reread this before the next one comes out to remember what happened.
I think I'm more excited about theories than I am about like this book, right? Like,
yeah, the theories are more fun.
I don't. Whatever. I want to play. I don't want to do this again though.
Yeah.
So.
Oh. Nice.
I can't tell if The Hat of Betrayal did not disappoint because it's a bad book or if it's because it's good.
Hard to tell.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it. So, all right. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and be putting our syllabus out for that shortly, I suppose. And we will see you guys next Sunday, same time, for The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
What?
Oh, you never watched the old Batman and Robins?
Oh, got it. I didn't like understand the words.
All right. Well,
But also no.
happy reading.
Bye.